questions. And but the only thing, we will lose some time, and at the end I can see some lack of the time, but it's not the important. The most important part, if I give you the answer for your questions. So please do not stop answering questions. Yeah, increase your questions. Then somehow I can find time for covering the rest of the lecture. Don't worry about that part. Okay, so I hope this part is giving you some actually relaxation. For me, it doesn't matter because I have to talk. Yeah, and I will go short through it most of the time after the class. And here, the class is not that long for actually earthquake engineering for graduate students. I have 3 hours, and sometimes I'm started 1 hour earlier because a lot of mathematical actually things that we have to cover, and it's very hard course. So on Thursday, I have 4 hours non-stop talking, and I just I can't talk. The whole Friday I will get problem. But this class, it's not that long. Still, I have to talk. Hopefully, uh, you can actually absorb this stuff. That's the actually my goal. So concrete placement is this chapter. I'm going to show you the different method for placing concrete. One of the method that we are using, or they are using in the field, the contractor is using conveyor, yeah, with conveyor. As you can see, there are truck mixer shoot. They are just dumping in a kind of bucket or something, and they will be transferred to a, a conveyor, and the conveyor will move this to the location that they want. Yeah, so that these are different options that you can see. This is for roadway, or can for roadway, as you can see. So the conveyor is one of the method that you can see in roadway most of the time. Sometimes in the structure for the building as well. Another part is just concrete pump. So with the concrete mixer, they are pouring inside a concrete pump. Concrete pump, that's it can be as simple and as small like this. So it can start pumping with the jacks, and you can hear a huge, actually, sound at the time of pumping this. And the concrete with pressure will go inside this, and it has a lot of pipes and hose transferring this to the location that they want to pour concrete. So that's a concrete pump. Another concrete pump is kind of a huge truck. Yeah, so it can bend like this, and then it can open it and make it like this one. Yeah, so they pour concrete at the end with the truck mixer. Then with the pump, it will push the concrete all the way to the location that they want. So this is huge, and it can help a lot, a lot. Otherwise, it's harder to place concrete without having all these trucks and instruments. Another part is easy to pour concrete is just concrete chute like this one. Yeah, if it's very easy access, so there is no need to bring anything. Yeah, they can use the chute and pour the concrete. That's one of the easiest way that sometimes they are lucky that they can do it, and they don't need to pay something because they have to rent. All these pumps are very expensive, very expensive. They have to rent them per hour or day. So it's very expensive. But this is the cheapest way that they can pour concrete if they can. Another one with the pump, you can see with that huge pump transferred the actually concrete to this location. Yeah, this is a part of the abutment for a bridge. So they are pouring footing concrete. So this guy is must be very strong, because when the pump is pushing the concrete, this hose will move huge with huge force. So this man should hold this, and he should do this for at least 8, sometimes to 12 or 16 hours when they pour concrete, and it should be non-stop concrete. So it's horrible, and all this concrete will actually uh, hit the rebar, and it will be splashed to everywhere. And after 3 hours, his face and his dress is completely covered with wet concrete. So it's very hard job. And these are actually doing the vibration, and I'm showing you later another slide for vibration. So as you can see, that a small pump, yes.
How much does it cost to rent the equipment?
Actually, I have no information for that part.
Okay.
Unfortunately, is not part of my expertise. I have no. So if you go with the contractor side, or if you go online, for sure there are some minimum information you can get. But unfortunately, I have no idea about those. So the small pump that I showed you, look at this. Let me back to this one. Something like this, yeah. With this one, at the end, it can be something like this hose. Yeah, look at this. And then they can pour concrete for this small retaining wall. That's a small retaining wall. So it can be part of that. Or it can be end hose of this when they bring this down. So you can see this part. So it can be either of those. Yeah. So the last part of this is rubber. So they can bend this, it can move. So it still shouldn't be in touch with anybody, because when it pumps, the whole system will move a lot. So if hit somebody, it can kill somebody. So it's very strong. And because of that, it's just rubber. This rubber, you have just hold it strongly, not to move that part. Okay. Again, for the roadway, you can see they use the conveyor, or they can actually, those are the roadway. I'm not sure if you have noticed or not. If you are driving in some place in LA or some other place, if you see green baskets, yeah, those are for roadway concrete roadway. That's a concrete, and they are installing them just at the point that they are going to cut that. They are cutting the concrete about few inches above this bar, just, and there is no rebar between those, just every 14 or 15 feet. They have those dowel basket, yeah, and they can move. Those are just holding both sides, and with cutting the system will not get any crack, because 14 or 15 feet is the maximum length for about 1 foot thickness roadway, that with no rebar you cannot see any crack. The crack will be those 14 feet designed for the total required length with no crack. So, and because of that, they install these baskets, and they're cutting them at those locations. That's it. So these are actually the methods for concrete pour. Sometimes for a small concrete pour, they are using a small bucket, yeah, with loader or man lift or something. They unload from truck mixer with chute inside that bucket, and then they move that to the location. That's not a good transferring concrete, but for very small, for some drainage inlet or something, maybe they are using this method. It's not a good method. And look at this, when you have a big truck, the big truck with this actually pump, if they open this pump with the weight of this without even concrete, it can make a rotation, huge rotation, and it can actually overturn the whole truck, or they can damage the front actually side of the track, or tires, or whatever it is. And because of that, before it start opening these arms, they have to install the jacks. Jacks are actually installed by itself, and it will go inside and outside. Then they are putting some pads underneath. From 4 sides, actually, it must sit on top of them. They will push them on the ground, so the whole system will go a little higher than before. So if we get some overturning, the load will go to these arms, not to the truck. So those are important, and we don't need to know the operator. They should take care of this. Another point of concrete placement is shotcrete. Shotcrete means that the concrete, not big concrete. As you can see, it's it's almost kind of pea gravel. Yeah, it's a small size of the gravel, uh, designed just for the shotcrete. Then they will add, it has 2 pipe. Look at this, one big pipe for the concrete, another pipe for the air pressure will go to a nozzle and then mix together, and it can just push it with huge pressure and place the concrete by shotcrete. Yeah. So for tieback wall or soy nail wall, they cut this. You can remember from the past few weeks that I went through those shoring. So they will cut dirt up to here, dirt up to here. Then they drill this, install that, grout it, place the rebar, then shotcrete that. As soon as it gets hard, they will go and they remove the dirt again up to here. Then they can shotcrete, install all those stuff, and then they can go lower and lower. So shotcrete is one option for placing concrete, especially for this that you cannot set any form. It's about 4 to 5 inches. Yeah, so you cannot set form, you cannot pour concrete. The other side is dirt. So how can you place concrete when you have dirt at one side? It can just wash it and just add it to the concrete. So shotcrete is another method for concrete placement for the walls most of the time, plus another locations that I'm going to show you. Whenever there is no way to pour concrete, especially when it's against dirt, shotcrete is the best way. And this is the method that you have to cover. The operator must cover itself for breathing, because this actual fume has a lot of cement. You can see that, and the smell. So it's very bad for your lungs. So it must cover, have actually a special masks. But these guys, they are not doing that. That's not good. That's not acceptable. This is the good practice for shotcrete placement. And another method, and this is the nozzle that I mentioned. Look at this. The concrete will come from here. The air will come with high pressure coming from here. You can close and change the amount of the air that you want. And with pressure, the concrete will go and will spray on the wall that you want. And then they are doing the finishing operation on this wall. And that's it for tonight. Any question on any of these slides or anything?
Professor, actually, I have a question. If I have any questions regarding the test, would it be cool if I email you during this week?
Actually, your voice was broken up. May I ask you to repeat that one more time, please?
If I have any, is it good now?
Yes, it's good right now.
Sure. So if I have any questions regarding this example problems or homework or slides, would it be cool if I could email you and see if we could Zoom or something?
Sure. Yeah, email me. Look at this. Tomorrow we have a lab, so you can come on the lab. At the end of the lab, as you can see, lab is not too long, so it should be fast. After this, I will stay and I will answer the question of all the students.
Okay,
that's the best time.
For sure, that would be perfect. Thank you.
Yes, after the lab. So if you have no questions, we are done. And you can go and have a great night. If you have question, stay and ask your question.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you. Thank you.